This is the show that gets up close and candid with your favorite personalities right here on City TV. My name is AJ Akwako Sarpong and welcome to Hall of Fame. On this show, we talk to them, clarify the rumors, get up close to what they've been up to, and as well play a few games and have a bundle of laughs. Trust me, one thing is guaranteed, and that is laughs right here on the show. So all you have to do is get interactive by simply sending us messages on any of our social media handles at CityTVGH on Twitter and Facebook, and as well on every other platform that you can imagine. And you can tweet at me as well at AJ Sarpong. Special thanks first choice of my lovely hair. You know how I do. It takes a village, guys. It takes a village. Now let's go into the exciting part where I get to have a conversation with my friend. Today, you might have realized we're a little different. Yeah, we're on the rooftop of some very special place, quite a location, I'll tell you before we wrap up with the show. And because we're in Heritage Month, we're doing things a little different right here on the show. When we come back, I'll be telling you about my amazing guests right here on the show. You're tuned into Hall of Fame right here on City TV. I'm about to have a conversation with someone very incredible. So she's a musician. She is going into cultural awareness. She's creating good events. She's someone that if you see her in performance, you'll probably fall in love with her immediately. She's doing so much, and she defines her style of music as Afro Soul. I really want to get to know what that inculcates and all about her, because she is someone that I personally admire and is set to do some incredible things in collaboration with other incredible artists. Well, today on my show, well, take a look at who my guest is today.
Somebody enter Colo.
And you never see.
Make I enter, make I go ahead. And if you know they feel my matter, Charlie, make you go away. I no get time where I just go on through way. So make I bust a lyric, we go enter into your head. Kumbaya, on fire. And I'll make the beat just take you higher. VVIP ever inspire. And you know say Sena D never expire. Mr. Colo. Yeah, baby. Mr. Colo.
And my guest today is none other than Sena Dagadu. Hi, Sena.
Hey.
Nice to have you on the show.
Good
welcome,
to be
welcome,
here.
welcome.
Thank you.
And wait, firstly, you are doing incredible things. You're like a cultural ambassador. You're doing great music and everything in between. But I have to start with, how do you define your style of music?
That is actually a question that I've struggled with throughout my musical journey in life. Yes, because everybody has a different box that they would put me in, and every song that I do has a different flavor, and every album that I do, everybody's like, so what genre is this? It's difficult to define, because I really just never attack music by saying, okay, I'm going to do a hip-hop this, or I just start doing it and then allowing it to be free and eclectic and a mix of different styles. So I suppose the most accurate word I would put to my craft is just a mix or a melange or a blend of different music and styles and I guess cultures of sound.
Yeah, and we'll go into the culture after that, but let's go all the way to the beginning. Okay. Your journey into music. How did you start in a church? Was it that you sang somewhere and someone said, oh, that voice, I need to get on? How was it? Or were you that you're friends with people and then they suddenly got into the studio? How was your journey into the music industry like?
Well, it's difficult. Where do I take where do I begin from? You know, I grew up here in Ghana. Yeah. First of all, I think every Ghanaian knows that growing up in Ghana, you are bound to have some kind of musical vein. You will hear music around you in your whole life growing up, whether in church or your auntie or somebody singing while they are cooking, or you know, like drumming and dancing. There's always music. There's always rhythm. People selling, yes, I saw everything is rhythm and everything is music in Ghana. singer. So it's difficult to grow up without having some kind of association with music. So let's put that down as the past. But my entry into the music industry, I think it's safe to say, happened in Hungary.
Okay.
When I moved there to study at the university, and I didn't have any friends, so I had a lot of time, and I didn't know the city. I didn't really know where I was and what I wanted to do with my life. So I used to just listen to a lot of music and travel on the buses to discover areas and write a lot of entries into my diary, and my writing started rhyming, like more and more, instead of just talking my nonsense about how boring my day was. I started trying to make it more interesting to entertain myself, and actually the writing began before I thought to put it to music. And a good friend of mine kind of encouraged me once. I read some of my writings to him, and he's like, you know, that's a rap. And I'm like, really? You think it's a rap? And he's like, yeah, that's a rap. We should find some nice beats to go with it. And we just ended up going to a club some random night where they were playing hip-hop, reggae, dancehall, like that kind of thing, which was a very marginal music style in Budapest at the time. This is a good 18 years ago. So we went there, and they had an open mic, and basically my friend just, you know, first of all gave me a glass of whiskey to drink, and then he pushed me like, you know, just go and do it. And so I loosened up a little bit, and I tried it, and then more or less what you said, like they were like, hey, who's that? Who are you? Why are you here? Your voice is nice. We have a studio. Come tomorrow. And basically I ended up meeting the most interesting producers and DJs in the Hungarian hip-hop and underground music industry. I really just walked into the lion's den. Like a couple of days later, I was in a studio downtown where literally anybody who was making music was passing through to record and to meet different artists, from producers to rappers to instrumentalists. All kinds of people were passing through there. So basically I just walked in, I sat down, and then I just met the whole of the Budapest music scene. And I think one thing led to the other. I was eager to learn and eager to discover, so I did a lot of collaborations, and I joined different bands just to experience, because I never studied music. I wanted to get as much experience as possible. And basically, like, within 2 years I had my first solo album, working with some of the producers that I had met there, and I had joined a band, and then joined another band, and then one, you know, it just
and that was it. Wow. Okay, now I'll ask about your support system. I would assume music, and at that point in time, about 18, 20 years ago, music was not really the choice career for a lot of people, and I think even to this day that there's still some iffy parts about it. Were your support system extremely happy? Were they, why, what the hell are you doing?
asking about my parents?
Yes.
my support system. I don't think we could have called them support system at that time. Like,
because that is also like a form of minister of state. So that must have put a bit of pressure on you.
Yeah.
How did they react when you said, Mom, Dad, I think I'm doing music?
Well, you know, my mom is also an artist. She makes jewelry, and she's a creative person, so she understands creative process. So she's always kind of been like, you know, you'll find what you are good at. Just, you know, be eager to discover and learn and try out different things, and just go do your journey. Don't be too aggressive to settle down into one career path now. Just try, you know, try and see what happens. My dad was more, he wanted me to be secure in life. So his deal was that you are doing university, you are getting your degree. You can do all that music stuff at the side, but you are getting your degree first. And then, you know, the main thing is that you have to be able to feed yourself, and you have to be able to fend for yourself. And that was something that he instilled in my siblings and I, that we have to be able to stand for ourselves in life. So I did finish my university. I do have my degree, and although I was tempted to stop in the middle, my dad would not let me, and I'm glad he didn't. Okay. So he was my support system in that he was like, okay, fine, do your music, but have, you know, be secure, have some kind of backup plan.
So it wasn't like they were like, oh no, we can't have you doing music. It was more like,
no, I mean, they know me from birth, you know. They were like, okay, this girl, she's going to do something crazy, so we might as well just support her as much as we can.
Okay. I like the sort of that. Now, coming back into the music, so you decided to start playing with a few bands and a few of that sort. Like, how did that really pan out? Is that at that point that you started helming your sound?
Yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've been really just trying to discover my own voice and what I stand for and the words that I put to my songs, and discover many different layers of music and how to find myself within these different styles of music. And what I value the most in my musical journey is meeting people and working with new people and experiencing new types of ways of working, whether it be live music, live performance, you know, DJ setup, working in the studio, writing with a group, or, you know, different creative processes, and just seeing which ones fit to me and which ones I can work with and which ones I can deal with. So it's just an exciting journey of trying a lot of things, really.
So now, from Hungary, at what point in time did you start doing music in Ghana?
I'm really bad with numbers, so I can't remember the exact year that I can say that I dared to come into the music industry here. I mean, for many years, I considered myself just like an amateur, just, you know, messing about, really. And I was even kind of shy to show, because I was working with a lot of Hungarian bands, and here in Ghana, like, everybody's very Ghana music centered. So in the beginning, I was kind of like even shy to show some of the music. Like, they'll not even understand. They'll be like, oh, look at, you know, like, okay, whatever. But then, well, a good friend of mine, Reggie Rockstone, who I've known since I was a teenager, basically, he broke the ice, because I started showing him, like, I was like, I want to show somebody what I'm doing, you know, and a musician. And so I started showing him stuff, and he was very encouraging. Okay. And then slowly I also started to break the ice, and is it like 10 years ago, around 2007, 2008, something like that, I started meeting new creatives in Accra at the time, and we started doing this show at Hypnotic, and then Bless the Mic also came from that. So we started doing a lot of open mic stuff. I was really interested in doing that because I was kind of disappointed that there was no avenue to perform when I was in Accra, because it was either you go and see somebody's big show at the stadium or National Theatre or something, and like the underground artists, I considered myself an underground artist. I kind of still do, and really? In some way,
why? What?
We'll get to that. But I'm saying, like, I didn't see enough platforms for people who are not blown up, huge, big name stars, but like, you know, musicians who are eager to learn. They didn't have any platforms to be performing and to be honing their craft and practicing their live acts and stuff like that. So I started doing a lot of work with people, different kind of creatives in Accra, trying to get avenues to perform on smaller scales than, you know, National Theatre level, that kind of thing. And that brought about some really, really exciting times. And that just kind of developed my relationship with some DJ producer friends and whatnot here in Ghana. And I guess that's kind of solidified my presence here. Yeah.
So with entry into Ghana and started getting to do you feel the need to switch your sound initially and start doing something more Ghanaian at that point in time?
Undeniably, there are huge differences with the styles of music and the people's capacity to accept different kinds of music in Ghana and in Hungary. You kind of do have to adapt to the different places that you are. So I find that certain songs that work in Hungary will not work here. Certain songs that work here do not work there. But there are some that are totally crossover and some that do. And it's a constant experiment. I mean, I don't like trying to fit myself into a situation and deliberately make music that I know will sell here. I want to make music that I enjoy and that I think will bring some kind of extra vibe and spice to somebody's life, regardless of which continents they are on. And I suppose I'm still trying to find that balance that works between worlds. And so I try not to, you know, by force cater music. I'm coming to do this for Ghanaian market, or you know, I just want to make music, and I want people to enjoy it, whether they be in Mexico or New Zealand or, you know, Togo or wherever. And I guess that's my new mission, just trying to find balance in sound that works in different places, and find the people that are open-minded enough to break out of their own, you know, their own, let's say, flavor specifics, and discover new music. And I think those are the kind of interesting people as well that I like to play for and make music for, people that are open-minded in the world of music.
Now let's come to what you had previously said about still thinking or still qualifying yourself as underground. Why would you, because you've done a lot of work, you have played all over the world, why would you still consider yourself underground, quote unquote?
Well, I suppose because if you want to be like a mainstream, you have the pop music scene is the mainstream scene, and that comes with a lot of I think, I'm not going to say sacrifice on the part of music, but you know, I'm not a character that's like very celebrity kind of thing. I don't really like that kind of sharing every moment of my life on social media, and I'm not very good at, you know, communicating too much. I like my personal space. I like, you know, my privacy and whatnot, and also I like the eclecticity of my music. Like, I don't want to sacrifice that on the altar of making something that millions of people will like and admire me for, but I don't really connect with in some way. And also I find that I really enjoy a more intimate connection with the audiences and the people that I play music for or with, than really just, you know. First, I can't dance. Let's just say I can't dance. So if I want to be a main stage performer, I have to dance. And now I'm there. I'd rather stay underground so I don't have to embarrass myself.
But don't you feel the need to, or don't you feel some sort of what's the word for it? Don't you feel tempted to become commercial at some point in time?
You know, that is also an interesting thing. Like, for example, with our band Irie Mafia that I work with in Hungary, which is the main band that I work with, we have also gone through a lot of, you know, changes in our lives and musical styles and whatnot. And we typically over there have been criticized for also becoming too commercial.
Really?
Because we are a band that it's a 15-year-old band. Next year is going to be 15 years old, and you know, over 15 years we have gone from playing small clubs and gigs to playing main stages and festivals, and there is some, you have to compromise certain things, and you have to add certain things to your recipe in order to get to that kind of level of success and maintain that level. The getting there is one thing. The maintenance is also another thing. And in order to do that, sometimes you do have to, you know, you get grants to do specific songs for companies or events or whatnot. And those are, you know, catered and tailored and very thoughtfully pieced together works of art, and they are not necessarily your while you are chilling and you are relaxing and you just get an idea and you say whatever you like kind of thing. So yeah, when you are at a certain level, you do have a responsibility towards your audience, you do have a responsibility towards your investors, you do have a responsibility to maintain your level of, I don't know, success or work or wherever you are, and sometimes that involves compromise. Yes.
Now, coming to the song that I think brought my attention to you, and a song a lot of other Ghanaians, Skolum,
yes,
where the Sena Dagadu, I'm like, okay, alrighty.
That song did me good.
Let's talk about the song. What was the inspiration behind maybe your lyrics, your verse, or the song in general?
The song was just so spontaneous. I was chilling with Reggie. I had just come from Hungary. Usually I go and see him. I'm owing him right now, so I'm going to see him after the show so that he doesn't see this before I before I go and see him. And so we're just hanging out and you know, catching up with each other, we usually show each other like what kind of music we've been doing or what beats we've got and whatnot. And that's why I first met Zeal, because he had started working with VVIP just around that time. And so Zeal also came over and they just showed me the beats. And they were showing me beats, different beats, and they played that one. And he was skipping it, and I was like, no, go back again. Play that one again. And he played it again. I was just like, wow. And then Zeal did the chorus on it. He just sang it like we were sitting around at some bar somewhere. Wow. And he just sang it. I was like, Lord have mercy. So, like, okay, like more or less like the next day or something, we were in the studio. Wow. So it's very spontaneous. It was just vibes, you know. It was just fresh vibes, friends meeting after a long time, and a good beat.
And now the response. How was the response after being in the Ghanaian space for quite a while?
Without any huge recognition,
attention is
on this. It was crazy because I was in Hungary when the song was released, and the song was I think it was released in June or something like that. And then in July, Reggie called me. He's like, "Charlie Sena, the song The Blue." I was like, oh yeah, nice, cool, Reggie, yay, nice one. And he's like, no, you don't understand, the song The Blue. I was like, yeah, cool. Like, okay.
What am I supposed to do about it?
Yeah, I can't see, you know, I couldn't feel that kind of thing. And then he called me a few weeks later. He's like, Charlie Sena, the song The Blue. And I'm like, really? Like, he's like, yeah, for real. Like, it's really going viral. And when I felt it was when I came, it was actually like half a year or so later, I came, and at the airport, I think it was an immigration officer or somebody. I just stepped off the plane. Or somebody said Sena Dagadu, and I was first of all my heart caught. I was like, yeah, I did not do it. Okay, and then from there, like really, as I entered town and I was passing places, people were saying my name and they were singing the song to me.
Wow.
And like I automatically responded, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is happening. And so it took a while for me to register that the song had actually blown up. But even up to today, when people see me, they're like, ah, you are the Skolom chicken. Yeah. So it actually gave me a whole new entry level into the Ghanaian music scene, and a nice, respectful entrance. I really appreciate it because it's so fun and it's so cool, and it's really nice to get that kind of feedback from people that, you know, you're on the right track, basically.
Okay. I like that. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll be asking Sena on all the new projects she's working on, and as well the Ghanaian music industry, and what's next with the brand Sena Dagadu. This is the Hall of Fame. We're here with my guest Sena Dagadu. Do not change your dial. We'll be right back. And you're tuning in to Hall of Fame right here on City TV with yours truly, AJ Sarpong. We're at the rooftop of a very nice place. I'll give you the details before I run out of here. Special thanks to First Choice for my lovely hair and VN's clothing for my outfit. But now let's go into my guest for today. I'm sitting here with the multi-talented, very incredible Sena Dagadu, and we're having a fantastic conversation. And we're going to go back into the conversation.
Dive back in.
Yeah. Now let's go back into the music industry. So Ghanaian music industry. You said something earlier on about investors and help and all of that, but it's not something that I usually hear in Ghana, because in Ghana everyone complains that the investment is not enough. No one gets anything, doesn't even pay, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But comparing the Hungarian music industry and Ghana, what are some of the structures that we lack in the Ghanaian music industry?
Okay, that's a pretty specific question. Well, I suppose the two main things that come into my mind that are a great help to me in my musical career in Hungary and are lacking here are, first of all, a strong copyright system, whereby every radio play, every TV play, every commercial use of your music has monetary value to it. So you actually have someone trying to protect your music and you know, pay you money for having it aired there. And that from most of my musician friends here in Ghana, I know that is hugely lacking. Like it's very difficult to actually get, you know, like I don't know how many people get paid for radio play and whatnot. I know that there are attempts to kind of pick that up, but Hungary's copyright protecting society, or what you call it, is a bit more settled, or what you call it, at this time. So that is a huge help. And what was the second one that I was thinking about? Oh yeah, grant systems. There is a system in Hungary whereby you can apply for government grants for different projects, be it a tour, be it an album, be it a project with, you know, joint projects with different artists, or anything culture related on different scales, classical music, dance, theater, all kinds of things. So there's like, well, I think it is a national cultural grant or something like this. That's what it translates to. And basically, they have different things that you can apply for during the year. And although you don't always win a grant for a project that you apply for, there is a high likelihood that you do get some kind of support. So you get different amounts of support. It depends on the type of grants that they advertise and the type of grant that you need for what you're doing. But you can ask for help for cultural programs. So for example, the cultural program that we are doing here in Ghana even has support from the Hungarian cultural grants. So so it helps to organize concerts, to organize tours, to go to studio to make an album, to, you know, to do all the creative work that musicians need to do. And that is a great support system, because oftentimes you just don't have the money to do that on your own. You can't sometimes just to create a show, a live show on your own. The cost of getting the venue, of getting the you know, the equipment and all of that, the infrastructure, everything to get a show together. It's really difficult to do that. It takes a lot of money, and here you have to really find sponsors. You have to go around kind of finding whichever way you can to gather the money together. And I think it would be a big help if there was some kind of national aid to you know, cultural activities that helps you to do that.
I like that. I like the sound of that. Hopefully someone who can make this happen is actually tuned in. But still on the music scene, how, and as someone who has observed, been in the Ghanaian music scene specifically, actively, or well, sometimes inactively, but still observing from a distance, how would you say our progression has been in the music industry? Are we on track? Are we losing out? Are we have we lost our way perhaps? Like, do you think the Ghanaian music industry has grown in the amount of time that Ivali's been observing on it?
You know, it's very difficult for me to have an objective view on the music industry as a machine, or like a, you know, like a working entity, because I really don't live here, and I'm not most of the music that I make is not worked by this machine, so to speak. And so I don't want to make any comments that is you know, weird or you know, biased or just uneducated, because I really don't have enough information. For what I can see though is that Ghana has always had a strong music scene. So let me take the word away from industry and put it onto music scene, because I really just don't know enough about the industry. But the Ghanaian music scene has grown, and it has changed. It always does. You can see a lot more younger generation musicians putting themselves out there and getting a lot more focus. You've got people making more videos, being more active in obviously social media also helps to grow the fan bases and the range of where music reaches and whatnot. So yeah, Ghana music scene has grown, and it continues to grow. As for such a musical country, it's almost impossible to stop the flow. And really just the appreciation for African music, or West African music, Afro beats, Afro pop, those kind of things, is also growing in the whole world. So I think there's a lot of possibility for growth. I mean, you can see a lot of Nigerian artists, for example, getting a lot of worldwide recognition, and it's, you know, it's only time and management that is you know, bordering Ghanaian artists from doing the same in the world.
And I would hope so. But as you speak about that, there was a big raging conversation on social media about how Ghanaians felt that we weren't giving enough emphasis on our own music as we were doing Nigerian music, and the same way Nigerians do not play enough Ghanaian music over in Nigeria, because we had some artists that went there and barely got any recognition, but when the Nigerian acts came on, everyone went wild. So a lot of people have been agitating that, you know what, it's high time we make it harder for foreign music to enter into Ghana, and we should be putting in legislation that will maybe put 60-40 in favor of Ghanaian music, or 70-30, or perhaps 80-20. What are your views on that? Do you think at this point in time we should be closing up from other music, or music will find its way in no matter what?
For one thing, music finds its way no matter what. You can try to control what people listen to, but it doesn't work, I think, on the long term, especially because if we're just talking about if you want to control what is on live air, maybe, but we've got the internet now, so if somebody wants to listen to something, they're going to find a way to listen to it. So maybe some kind of, you know, control quotas can help, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Hungary is trying something like that also we don't agree with, because I think the most important aspect of music is that it's free and it's global, and it's the most, you know, it has to be accessible wherever you are, and people will listen to trends. Music is trendy music that travels. And maybe if now Nigerian music is popular, it's popular. You can't shoot it down. It doesn't mean that Ghanaian music cannot be played, or shouldn't be played, or shouldn't be supported, or whatnot. But there was a time we're only listening to R&B.
That's true.
There was a time it's only cools. So I mean, it will be what it will be. And the popularity of different genres, it's like a wave. It changes, it carries, it goes, it comes, and you know, you never know. I don't think it's something that is easy to control.
Now let's talk about your new projects in music. You're doing a collaboration album with Walasi.
Yes.
Firstly,
wow! Why?
Yeah. Like, I want to know what will lead to you to say, you know what, I'm not going to do an album on my own. I want to do it with Walasi. And why him in the first place?
I released an album called Feathers in 2017. And after doing that, while I was doing that, I was already gathering material for the next one. I was actually planning to do a double, but then I changed my mind a lot, you know. And along the way, I met Walasi and we did a song together called One Life. He invited me to do that song with him. And I really liked his vibe. I really loved his energy. And I listened to like the subsequent stuff that he released. And we just became friends, and I really love his musical style. I think it's so genuine and so fresh, especially in a world where I see that people are trying to please mainstream, you know, categories and things like that. I felt like he was somebody that was actually just trying to find his own voice and doing his own thing, and I really appreciated that. So while I was doing, you know, gathering the beats and things to the new EP, I just thought it would be refreshing for me to work with someone and not just do an album by myself and be the only voice singing on it, because I just released something which I sang through the whole thing by myself. And the only person that I could think of that I would happily share that vibe with and energy and learn from and get some of their vibes as well was Walasi, because of the great work experience that I had with him doing One Life as well, and the way the beats were, I knew that it was more calibrated towards Ghana than Hungary because of the rhythms and things like that. So I wanted it to be somebody who's a Ghanaian artist, and I just cannot think of a more fitting person to work with.
All right, so tell me about the album. What kind of songs are we expected to hear on it? What kind of styles of music are you exploring on this particular album?
Again, when you ask about what styles, it was very difficult to say, because it's a very personal inner world of rhythm. I mean, you can definitely hear a lot of Ghana in there because the rhythms are kind of tight, and you've got your standard rhythms that you have in Ghana that you kick and things like that you'll find here and there. But at the same time, it's very exploring and very, very, you know, world music oriented kind of thing. It's a short little EP. It's got 9 tracks on it. Some of the tracks are longer, some of them are really, really short, or just more or less interludes, so to speak. And it's basically, I wanted to create something which is easy to listen to front to back, because I know we have moved away from listening to albums nowadays. It's very difficult to actually find somebody to sit down to listen to a 60-minute album. Like, people just don't have the time for it. So this is 20 minutes front to back. It's basically a journey from A to B, or, you know, a trip on a bus or something like that. It's digestible, so to speak, but at the same time we try to cram in. I mean, Walasi and myself both have some kind of deep, we always try to put some kind of message or some kind of moral. We are not trying to teach you how to live your life, you know, but just kind of put our little wisdoms inside here and there. So it's educational entertainment, I guess, if you pay attention to what we're saying. And we're just expressing ourselves as 2 young musicians in the world, just really trying to have fun and trying to find a bit of balance in the world where we don't have to explain to one side or the other side what we're doing, but we're just presenting something that is quick and easy to digest.
When is it out?
It's out on the 6th of April.
Oh,
yeah, so it's fresh.
Okay, congratulations then.
Thank you.
I'm just going to do amazing. And who are your dream collaborations, I need to ask?
Wow, at this particular moment, I'm not even thinking about dream collaborations. Like, I could come up with so many names on a global scale that I want to work with, but I never lived like that. Usually, what ends up being like a dream collaboration is chance meetings. People that I actually bump into or get to know at a festival or somewhere like that somebody introduces me to, or there's some kind of personal connection, and those end up in collaborations that are really worthwhile and really, you know, fulfilling. Because I think it's easy to dream about, yes, I would like to do a track with, I don't know, Beyonce or something, but it's kind of unrealistic at the moment, you know, and I mean, right, do I really want to do a track with Beyonce? I mean, yeah, cool, I'm sure I do, but do I? But if you meet someone and your life really puts you in a current flow with somebody that you can actually connect with and create something with, I think that's just so much more worthwhile as a human experience in life. So I'm not going to mention any dream collaboration names.
Do you think the alternative music, and I say alternative because if it's not...
No, I like the word alternative music, and I understand it. Yeah.
We sort of put it into an alternative kind of box. Do you think the alternative music scene is getting as much quote-unquote accolades or appreciation as it deserves?
No. Okay. No. Even in the beginning, while we were talking, I was saying that finding the people who are open-minded to listen to different music from around the world. It's a small niche group of people who actually go that far as to, I don't know, listen to Arabic music or Spanish music or Colombian music or you know, something like that. And people who listen to alternative music also, I think, come into this category of the rare find of people who are open-minded enough to dive out there and listen to something that is not familiar. So no, I don't think alternative music gets enough support or, you know, accolades or listens or whatever.
Do you think you as an artist in Ghana get enough accolades or enough appreciation of the kind of music you put out there?
To be honest, for the amount of work I put into getting my music out there, which is not very much considering what I could do, I do get a lot of feedback that I'm very happy about. I should do more if I want more. Let's just call it that. Let's call it what it is. Okay. So I'm happy with the feedback that I get so far.
Okay. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. Now, let's come into life, your family life. Balancing motherhood, work, ambassadorial duties, which will come into very shortly, and music. How are you able to? Are you able to get that perfect balance? Some people say a woman can probably never get that perfect balance.
Perfect balance.
It's a dream.
You know, there's
everything works out. It may no, it doesn't. In reality,
no, I mean, you can try. Honestly, there was a certain year or 2 years that, you know, my mantra was balance, just trying to find balance. Like I was constantly trying to find balance, and I think I am still constantly trying to find, because balance is what I discovered in my journey to find balance is that balance is not stationary. It is also a wave, and you have to ride it up and down and try to not make the waves too far apart from the middle. But I'm actually a very lucky person because I have a lot of support in my family, with my family, from my family, by my family, and so it makes life a lot easier. And not just my family, my friends. And I say family because some of my friends are just as tight as blood, or even tighter than some blood, you know. So yeah, my husband is also a musician. We work together, we travel together a lot, so it means that when the two of us are on the road, our daughter is either with her grandparents or her cousins or her friends or something, and our calendars need to be synchronized. And it's logistics, and okay, so the babysitter will pick her from school and take her to there, then carry the and you need to plan. So basically, if you, especially in the summer months when we are touring, it's a serious logistical issue. Like you have to sit down, calculate, plan, and make sure that she is comfortable, because that's the most important thing. You have to have a child who's balanced in life and likes her life, you know. So we just try to make it as comfortable as possible for her, and also, like, she has to know the life that we're living. So we take her when we can, we show her what we do. She can come on stage, she'll come for sound check, she can check what we're doing, so she's not like, she doesn't think we are somewhere. So even sometimes we can ask her, do you want to come? And she's like, nah. She's like, okay, so I'm going to be watching iTunes on what's it called, YouTube at the backstage. That's not exciting. I'd rather sleep at Mira's house or something like that, you know. So we just try, you know, and we really do have a wonderful support.
I like that. I like some of that. Balance. It's
balance, but it's a job. Balance is work. It's serious work. Yeah.
Now we'll go into your ambassadorial duties very shortly, but before that, we'll go on another break. When we come back, we'll be talking to her, because in case you don't know, she is a cultural ambassador, and she's doing something very incredible in the month of April, and a whole week dedicated to incredible stuff. When we come back from this break, we'll be talking about that, and you know, getting into that final game or two with Sena Dagadu right here on the show. so we're gonna go into the games part, my favorite part. Mwahahaha. And we're doing countries and capitals. Sena looks apprehensive.
I'm terrified. I'm not apprehensive. I'm terrified.
Hey, terrified.
Please,
you see,
let it be known that my lack of knowledge does not represent my. I don't even know what to say.
So nobody's okay. Come for you.
And nobody should come for me, please. I'm here to eat dinner.
So we're starting off with Togo.
The capital of Togo. I'm tempted to say Lomé.
Lomé? Is it Lomé? Is it Lomé? Let's take a look. Is it? And it is Lomé. Woohoo!
Oh God!
You tried.
I'm so nervous.
Second, wow, Cameroon.
Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, Cameroon.
Yeah.
It's I don't even know.
Please, somebody whisper to me, la.
I refuse. Yeah, Cameroon. Wow.
This is really embarrassing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I'll say something. It's like some different country altogether.
I think we just say we don't know it. So
Yeah, we don't know.
Let's see. And then
Yaoundé. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't even pronouncing that right, but France.
Maybe Paris.
It could be. Is it?
I don't know. Right now, I'm not sure about anything.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Is it Paris? Let's see. It is Paris. Ooh. Okay, so next one is Nigeria.
Lagos.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Abuja. Is it Abuja or Lagos?
It could be one of them.
You know, I've never been.
Really?
Yes. Please, let's say Abuja.
Okay, is it? And it is Abuja. Woo!
I want to go home. I want to go home.
Okay, Canada. The place where Justin Bieber is from, where Drake is from. Canada.
It's Ottawa, isn't it?
Is it Ottawa?
Toronto is Ottawa.
What is it? And it's
Ottawa or Toronto?
Ottawa. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You know your capital. Okay. And are we done or is there any more?
Oh God! I'm glad it's over.
You just missed only one.
Oh.
See, you're actually pretty well. You did
Yaoundé. I'll never forget again. Please, my apologies.
You never forget Cameroon again.
I won't.
Yeah, I definitely would. Okay, so now from the game, we're gonna go into a quick fire round. So basically, I'm gonna ask you quick questions, and off the top of your head, you have to give me an answer.
Okay.
Alrighty. So
another dangerous game.
Okay. So let me start with your first kiss. Where was it? Who was it?
My first real kiss was with my own arm. You know when you do like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to try it out. So that's my first kiss.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. You're sticking with that.
Yes, please.
Okay. Your first job.
My first paying job would have to be something that I probably did for my mom. My mom has a shop, and I probably had to string some beads or something for her, and she would pay me for it. So yeah,
Stringing beads for my mom. I used to do
once in a while, like if it was actual work, then yeah, she was nice enough.
Okay, all right. I like your mom. Can I work for her? Anyways, so your first gig. What was your first ever gig?
My first gig that actually paid me.
Yes.
Wow. I don't even remember. I remember what I bought from, from the gig.
What did you buy?
No, my first gig was a DJ gig. I was playing with a crew called Gimme Shot Crew, which was like a hip hop crew, and you know, MC DJ kind of thing. And I probably got like, I don't even know, some 40 euros or something at the time committed for it. But I was very happy.
Wow, yeah, earned it.
Yes.
What's the most expensive thing you ordered?
The most expensive thing in my wardrobe. There was a dress that I bought. I don't even know. Is that the most expensive thing? I do. I have a very expensive jacket, which was about almost 300 euros to buy. But
300 euros.
But got me a cheapskate. I don't like spending money on clothes.
Because usually on the show I hear like $3,000.
Oh no, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I feel bad about that.
Wow.
No. I'd rather buy 30 items of clothing than buy one for the price of 30.
Okay.
I'm a thrift store girl.
I like that. You're my kind of person.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I like quantity
and
quality. Yeah.
Okay, so finally, before I go, I'm gonna name things randomly off the top of my head, and you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind about it. Yeah?
I played that recently. It's
okay. So the first thing that comes to your mind about it.
Okay.
All right. So let's start. Reggie Rockstone.
Hip life.
Okay, Zeal.
Zeal.
Twitter.
Lots of nonsense.
Facebook.
Pictures of my friends.
Shatawale.
Freedom.
Walasi.
Power.
Family.
Love.
President.
Which one? This is like my answer. President. Please ask me what the guy is president. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Right. Hungary.
Hungary. Goulash.
What is gouache?
It's a
Goulash.
type of soup. Like
Okay.
food. It's very typical answer, please.
Ghana.
Ghana. Well, I mentioned food for Hungary, so I have to go with fufu again for Ghana.
I like it.
I
I
have
like it.
to.
I like it. Skolom.
Enter. Somebody's knocking on the door. Skolom, yes.
And finally, music.
Music, the world.
Okay. Okay. I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. So finally, before I let you go, Sena, you have to tell me, what should people be expecting from brand Sena Dagadu? New videos, new music is coming out soon. So what should people be expecting? How can they get in touch and get interactive with you?
Well, it's all very simple,
Oh, tell me
really.
about it.
One just has to go on any social media and find me at my handle at Sena Dagadu.
Okay.
It works for Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everything. And also I have a website that you can go to, which is Sena/Dagadu.
Okay.
And other than that, we have new music coming out. There are going to be some videos coming with those. Got some shows coming. I've got a tour season going on
I
in
like
Hungary.
it.
And hopefully I'll be back in Ghana again very soon with some more fresh music. It's all about the music. So yeah, expect lots of fresh music.
I love it. I love it. Sena,
Thank
you are
you.
incredible as a guest, and thank you for tuning in. It's been another episode of Hall of Fame. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I think I laughed a little too much, but yeah, it's allowed. Sena is a fantastic character to be with. My guest was Sena Dagadu, multi-talented cultural ambassador, musician with a lot of eclectic taste and I think style in music, and it was a pleasure hosting her here on the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can get interactive by tweeting at me at AJ Sarpong. If you have a particular person you want me to interview, how about you tweet at me and let me know, and I would consider bringing that person right here on the show. Until I come your way again, it's been Hall of Fame right here on City TV, and above all, keep watching City TV.